Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Advisory. It's growth part 4 negative thinking. So, we talked about the judge and explore voices that might allow us to either try something new or stop us from trying something new. So, we're going to dig a little deeper into those thoughts and why we experience them in this lesson. So, first, we're going to watch a quick video. And I thought this video was a cute description of what happens in our brains when we start to focus on our negative thoughts. So it might seem a little juvenile a little bit here and there, but I do think it's a good visual that we can connect with when we are trying to understand these unhelpful thoughts. So take a minute, watch this video.
Imagine a day full of negative thoughts where everything just does not seem to be going your way and you're stuck thinking about how horrible everything is. Even if something starts to go well, your brain just will not let you forget that mistake you made on your math test or the fact that you spilled milk all over your table at lunch. If this has happened to you, then you have a bad case of the ants or automatic negative thoughts. These thoughts are always negative. They leave you feeling pretty bad. They tend to stop you from problem solving. They're definitely unwanted and they're believable because you're stuck in the web of negative thinking. And once you get stuck, it can be kind of tricky to get yourself out on your own. These thoughts are just like ants at a picnic. When there's just one or two, we can manage them. But when they swarm or invite their ant buddies to your lunch, they get so annoying or overwhelming that they start to take away any of the joy you felt from just being in the sunshine eating your lunch in the first place. Negative thoughts are totally normal. We experience all sorts of thoughts in our day, so the ant buddies are bound to show up with their negativity at some point or another. In fact, our negative thoughts are actually there to try and keep us safe by helping us identify what might hurt us and helping us to try and learn from our mistakes. Unfortunately, when we're stuck thinking the same negative thought over and over again, it tends to spiral into even more negative thinking, which leaves us feeling pretty stuck. When the swarm of ant buddies takes over, it can leave us feeling afraid, anxious, worried, or even angry. The ant buddies tend to pop up without you even being aware of them at first. Once the ants show up, they can change the way you feel about yourself, other people, or even the world around you. There are 15 main ant buddies that cause negative thoughts to pop up for us. When these bugs come around, they try to change the way we think, which can then lead to problematic feelings and behaviors. From Betty, who makes us blame everybody else, to Marty, who thinks he can read the minds of other people, and all the others in between, each ant buddy has one core job: to make you feel bad about yourself, what's going on around you, or what might happen in the future. 15 seems like a lot, but don't worry. The more you learn about them, the more you'll recognize the ones that come around for you the most. There are ways to spot or stash these bugs away when they have come to visit. There are a few simple things you can try in order to get the ant buddies to bug off. First, focus on recognizing the thought. Swat the ant buddy and stop the bug in its tracks using a thought stopping statement. This part happens fast, but it's so important. Once you've swatted and stopped the bug, you can then catch it to take a closer look. Plop it in a jar and question the thought by writing it down. Look deeper into how it's making you feel. Is the bug buddy's thought making you feel sad, angry, worried, maybe something else? Then examine the bug until you think you know exactly which ant buddy is causing the problem. Is it Ollie or maybe Betty? Once you know, use questions that will specifically challenge the bug. Finding the truth of what is going on makes it much easier to solve the problem and makes it more likely that the bugs won't stick around. Don't forget, if you are having a hard time figuring out how to get unstuck from the web of negative thinking, find a trusted adult that can help you catch and question the ant buddy that you have sticking around. It's pretty easy to get trapped in our thoughts by the ant buddies, leading to self-doubt, anger, or worry. You may not be able to completely control when the ant buddies show up, But you do have the power to choose if you're going to accept what they're telling you or question them to make them leave. The more you practice catching and questioning them, the more likely they are to bug off. To learn more about the Ant Buddies and what you can do when they come around, visit selsketches.com.
Okay, so that video is all talking about the automatic negative thoughts. And there's essentially 3 steps. You catch it, you check it, you change it. When you think of 3 C's, they caught the bugs in the jar. They sort of analyzed it, like, where is this coming from? What does this mean for this decision I'm about to make or for the way I'm making myself feel? And change it. So again, you acknowledge something, and that is your opportunity to make some changes. So if I'm thinking negatively about this particular situation, how can I change it? Or how can I reframe it? Okay, so with this reflection, I want you to take some time to reframe a few common negative thoughts into positive ones. So in your journals, you jot down a couple negative thoughts that you have regularly. Okay, like sometimes when I'll make an example, like sometimes I look in the mirror and I'll look at my hair and I'll be like, oh, I'm having a bad hair day. And I get like all caught up in that. But in the moment, what I can do is stop that thought and reframe it to something positive. So I could highlight something that doesn't make me feel bad about myself, right? It can make me feel better for the day. Okay, that's just an example. What are some negative thoughts that you have throughout the day, and how can you change them into positive ones? So take a minute, reflect in your journal, use the rest of the time advisory to think about this question. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.